So your DNA and your genes don't just control all the regular everyday traits that we think about. Sometimes things in your genetics can go wrong and cause disease. Right? You may be familiar with some of these diseases. ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, is caused by a genetic disorder. Down syndrome is a genetic disease or disorder. Right? And so there's lots of diseases that you can actually be born with. Sometimes they show up right off. Sometimes it takes a while for them to develop. You don't know about them until you're older. But they are things that you're born with. You can't do anything about it. Other diseases you catch, and those are the ones we're more familiar with. So we're going to talk about just the difference between those and how they work. So disease can be either infectious or non-infectious. Now, an infectious disease is caused by a pathogen. And a lot of people think of a pathogen as a germ. Okay, so bacteria or virus. All right, and they might be contagious, which means they can be spread from person to person. But not all of them are contagious. Just because it is caused by a bacteria or a virus does not mean it is contagious. Some are and some are not. But if it's infectious, it is caused by virus or bacteria. Now, non-infectious disease, these are the ones that we're talking about primarily when we're talking about genetics. Okay? This is not caused by a pathogen or germ. It could be inherited, all right, so maybe you were born with it, but it can also be picked up through the environment or a lifestyle. Okay? It's not contagious, okay, at all. It's not contagious. And when we say picked up through the environment or lifestyle, think about people who smoke, who then develop lung problems. Okay? Their lifestyle, their smoking, all right, damaged their lungs. Okay? Or people who drink too much alcohol, they can damage their liver, and that's a disease called cirrhosis. So that's what we mean by lifestyle or environment. Might not just be a smoker, it might be someone who lives in a highly polluted area, might damage their lungs. Okay, so that would be a non-infectious disease. And then, like I said, it could be genetic, possibly, all right, but also it could be picked up by the environment. But the key thing is it's not a germ, all right? So examples of each, these are infectious diseases. These are diseases that are caused by pathogens. So again, that's either bacteria, virus, and sometimes different protists can be pathogens, all right? But all of these are examples of that. And over here, we have examples of non-infectious disease. Some of these are genetic. Some of them are environmental. Some of them might be both. Cancers. They think that there are some cancers that are genetically linked, like breast cancer. They have found a gene that if you have it, you're probably going to get breast cancer. But other cancers can be caused by the environment or by lifestyle. Too much sun gives you skin cancer. All right? Down syndrome, that would be an example of purely genetic. You have to be born with that. There's no other way to get Down syndrome. Diabetes is another one that can be both. Some people are born with diabetes, juvenile diabetes. Some people, through lifestyle, poor nutrition choices and all, can develop diabetes. So these are examples of non-infectious. Again, lifestyle or genetics or environment, a pathogen. That's the really key difference. None of them are necessarily contagious. With these, some might be, some are not. Just depends on what disease we're talking about.